Hey guys, it's Ethan from Zimmer Labs, back with a second video of the day. This is a masterpiece Graflex that I just finished building for Mark. Mark, let me know what you think. We did this with a Roman Props flash gun in Empire Strikes Back style. We used a Teensysaber, of course, as always, and installed Neopixels, accent pixels, a color cycle, and a lot of the usual stuff that you guys are used to seeing. Activation button right here, red button, and then auxiliary button is your slide switch. Nice action on both of them. Red button down here rather than glass eye, which is also your set screw. So you just loosen it up to get the blade in and out. And why don't I demonstrate that real quick? Here is bird's eye view of the connector inside. It's a TCSS Neopixel connector. Very, very fantastic design on that. Blade right here. Nice rounded end, so it fits and slides just nice and smooth. Slide it in, set your set screw, you're good to go. So 34-35 inch blade, nice and long, not too long, but you know, just a touch over the standard length. Oh, to access the internals, open the clamp. Twist and slide off the bottom of the hilt. This is, like I said, a Roman Props replica, so it's done correctly. Grips, rivets, cobalt clip, and a stamp. I also always do the insides of these. What I mean by that is, first off, you have to rivet on the clamp, and then you need to create a hole behind this section of the clamp right here for sound to come out, otherwise it's a really quiet saber. But in addition, I always steel wool the inside of this guy, because otherwise, this is, as you can see, that's a snug fit already. But I spent at least 10-15 minutes cleaning the inside of this out with heavy duty steel wool, medium steel wool, then ultra fine steel wool, just to take a little material off and smooth the inside out so that every time you put this on, it doesn't scratch the surface of the chassis in the crystal chamber here. That's super important. Same thing goes for this section and the Graflex clamp. I always do that. It's just a little touch. You know, you don't have to, but I guarantee you if you do it, your internals and your saber will look great for years and years. If you don't, 6 months after you build this, all this stuff is going to be totally scratched up, as well as this section and the bottom section will be scratched up from the clamp. And who wants a scratched up lightsaber, especially when you're spending serious money on them. Further disassembly, slide this clamp down. Again, that is cleaned out with steel wool, and then the side tabs, you have to sand those down a bit too so that they don't catch on any of these sections when you're taking this on and off. You're looking at a Goth 3 Designs Master chassis done in nickel plated steel, gold, plastic, and plastic down here with a iron metallic finish in these sections. What I would give for autofocus. As you can see, it's pretty metallic looking. This paint is really a nice product. Lots of brass accents in this guy here. Inside of the audio section and the recharge section, also lots of brass inside here. It's gold, and then we did dual quartz crystals. Mark, if you don't like the dual quartz crystals, let me know and I'll switch it out to one single long quartz crystal. But the reason I do it this way is because you get a pixel on both sides shining into each, and then you get this nice clean twin crystal points here. So if you have one big crystal, you don't get a point you can see here. You get a point that you can see barely up here, but basically it's just like a crystal shaft that goes from side to side, and you don't see either end of the crystal. So this way you get to see two really nice natural quartz points. All the crystals I use are legit, no glass, no nonsense, nothing from Michael's. These come from a local quartz store, small mom and pop owned place in Milford, New Hampshire, that literally is like the size of a big shed, like a shed you'd have in your backyard with your lawnmower in. It's just like 1.5 rooms, but it's legit full of crystals, just everywhere, just little crystals. So if anybody needs any kind of crystal, any size, any color, message me. I'm happy to pick them up for you the next time I'm in there. I stop in like once a month to reload my supply. The place is really inexpensive. They're really fairly priced, and they have just tons and tons of great crystals of all sizes. Let's show you guys how this one works. Behind this door right here is your recharge port. You would typically put a kill key in there, but Mark wanted a switch, so kill switch instead. Boot up sound tells you it's on. Activation button. First font we went with was a blue with a white flash. So we got blue in the crystal chamber here, so they mimic the blade. And then a blue color cycle down at the bottom that spins up from white and from off. So when you turn it off, it goes from blue to white to off. And when you turn it back on, you get this effect. That's kind of my standard crystal turbine, if you will, power turbine. Behind this guy right here, is your access to electronics. Sorry. As you can see, right here is USB and SD card right there. And it's just where you need it to be, so you can slide a USB connector in right there, or grab the SD card and pull it out right there, or close the door and not see it. Now, further remove this guy, remove this second red button, which, as I said, is the set screw for the blade. You need a screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, to pull this flathead screw right here. It's not a big one, it only takes a couple turns. Don't lose it. And then, lastly, you have to unscrew the activation button. And then, Bob's your uncle. She slides